Imagine the scene. Louise, a mature man who had faced many challenges in life, believed that he had finally found true love. He was happy and proud to say that he was in a relationship. He believed that with time, it would become even stronger, more real. But as the months went by and something started to bother him, she would come with a charming smile, that sweet look, and say, "Hi, my love, I missed you so much." And Louise wanted to believe him. How could he doubt such a beautiful gesture? But something didn't add up. She only showed up when he needed something, a ride, help, a loan of money. After that, silence. He kept waiting for a message, a gesture of affection, but nothing came, just absence. She must just be busy. This will pass, he told himself, until one night, alone on the couch, he looked at his own life and understood the harsh truth. He was being used. It wasn't love, it was interest disguised as affection. What about you? Have you ever felt like someone only looks for you when they need something? If you've ever been through something like this, or want to avoid falling into relationships where only you give, subscribe to the channel. Here we talk about maturity, self-love, and how not to lose yourself trying to please someone who was never there completely. First, she only shows up when she needs it at first. Everything seemed light, natural. Louis, a mature, calm man with a heart ready to love again, was enchanted by her manner. A friendly, smiling woman full of life. She arrived with good energy, that tight hug, and a nice conversation that seemed to fill the emptiness of the days. It was all so beautiful that Louise didn't even notice the pattern. Not right away. The first time was something simple. "Louise, can you help me with something in my apartment? A little problem with the faucet." He went. Of course he did. He liked her. He wanted to show that he was a present man, a partner. Then another situation came up. "I have a problem with my car. Can you take a look at it for me? Or can you see someone who understands?" Louise dropped everything and took care of. And she thanked him, gave him a long kiss and disappeared for 2 days. And then, almost subtly, she started repeating herself. "Louise, this month is tough. Can you lend me a little money just until next week?" Next week never came, but Louise, he kept helping, always. But there was one thing that bothered him, even though he tried to ignore it. When he sent a message just to talk, she took a long time. Sometimes she didn't even respond. When he said he missed her, she would respond with, "Oh, how cute." And that was it. When he said, "Shall we go out and do something together, just the two of us?" she would say, "This week is busy, honey. I'll let you know when I can." That's when Louise, alone at home one night, with his cell phone in his hand and his heart a little heavy, looked at himself and thought, "Boy, I think this woman only shows up when she needs me." The penny dropped slowly, but it did. It wasn't love. It was convenience. She didn't call to see how he was doing. She didn't send spontaneous messages. She didn't care about being with him unless there was something at stake. It was an affection that only appeared when she wanted something in return. And you, my friend, have you ever been through something like this? Does she really like you or just what you can offer? Second, empty conversations, zero interest. Louise has always been a man who liked to talk about life, about what he was feeling, about the plans he had. He believed that in a true relationship, conversation is where love grows stronger. But with her, it was different. He realized this on a normal day. He arrived excited with a new idea about a small business he wanted to set up. "Do you know what I thought about today? I think I'm going to take that old project out of the drawer. I had some good ideas here." She smiled, a little distracted, and answered without even looking him in the eye. "Oh, cool. But let me tell you what happened at work today. You won't believe it." And there she came. 30 minutes of talking about her boss, her jealous friend, her ex-boyfriend who showed up again. Everything about her, always about her. At first, Louis thought it was just a bad day. But it became routine. When he tried to tell her that he was worried about his mother, who was sick, she would respond with, "Oh, really?" And then she would go on to tell another story of hers. One day, he tried to open up. He was tired, feeling down and feeling the weight of loneliness. "You know, there are days when I feel kind of alone, like everything is too heavy." She looked at him, gave him an awkward smile and said, "Oh, that will pass." But look at what my friend did yesterday. Can you believe she... He stood there still, his heart was tight. He felt like he was talking to a wall. It was at that moment that he understood. I'm just someone for her to pour out her feelings on, but what I feel doesn't seem to matter. He realized that there was no exchange, just a stage, where she spoke and he watched. He wasn't a partner, he was an audience. What about you? Have you ever felt alone in a conversation? Does this person listen to you? Or does he just use you as emotional support without caring about how you feel? Third, everything becomes a cost. For you, at first, it seemed like affection, she would say in that sweet way. Oh, Louise, let's go out to dinner tonight. I'm so excited. And he, happy to please her, would answer, sure, choose the place. He would pay for dinner, leave the tip and take her home. And the next day, something else would happen. Louise, I had an unexpected problem. With the electricity bill, how can you help me this month? Louise didn't think twice. He wanted to be helpful. He wanted to show that he was there, that he was a partner, that she could count on him. For weeks, this kept happening. A trip to the mall, a weekend outing, a little gift here, a little help there. He thought it was part of it. That was what love was all about, sharing. But over time, he realized that only one side was sharing. One month, the bills got tight. Louise had an unexpected expense with car repairs, and for the first time, he said it politely. Honey, I'm a little tight this month. I won't be able to help with that. The change was immediate. She became cold. She responded with an, oh, okay. The next day, she was already distant. And in the days that followed, she started giving short, dry answers without the slightest interest. Louise felt it in his chest. The affection disappeared along with the money. The attention evaporated when he said, no. Is she only here while I can pay the bill? The answer came quickly. When he said no to a bigger request, she simply disappeared for days, without justification, without affection, without even asking how he was. That's when Louise understood. The relationship had become a transaction. And he was the bank. And you? When? You say no. Does the person stay by your side? Or do they disappear as if you no longer had any value? Fourth, she disappears when you need her. Louise has always been the kind of man who holds things together. He didn't like to bother anyone. Even when things got tough, he took a deep breath and moved on. But one day, life really got tough. His brother was rushed to the hospital, and Louise had to rush to get everything sorted. Hospital, doctors, documents, while also managing his work and taking care of his mother, who was in shock with the situation. That night, exhausted, he got home, dropped his keys on the counter, and threw himself on the couch. The weight on his back was too much. He felt a strange emptiness, the kind of silence that screams. He picked up his cell phone, took a deep breath, and sent her a message. Everything is really hard today. I just wanted someone to talk to for a bit. He waited. 20 minutes, an hour, 2. Nothing. He called. It went to voicemail. He sent another message. No answer. Only the next day, almost at night, a short text arrived. Sorry, I was busy. We'll talk later, okay? It was like a punch. That hurt more than the tiredness, more than the fear he felt for his family. He was there at the most vulnerable moment he could have. And she didn't even bother to ask if he was okay. He stared at the ceiling for a while, with his cell phone in his hand without reacting. That's when he thought, does she only want to be around when everything is beautiful, when it's convenient? And there in silence, Louise understood the hardest truth of all. There are people who only want to be with you on sunny days. But when the storm comes, they disappear without a trace. She's cold, but she uses affection when she wants something. There were days when Louise thought it was strange. She was distant, cold, indifferent, but suddenly it would change. Hi, my love. I miss you so much. You're so special to me. Louise would get emotional. He thought, now, I think she's giving in. But soon after, the request would come. Can you help me with something? Can you lend me that money real quick? You could take me there tomorrow, right? That's when it hit him. Her affection has a price, it was all calculated. The affection only appeared when she needed something. Is the affection you receive sincere, or is there a hidden price tag? Luis went through all of this trying to convince himself that it was just a phase. She'll change. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but his heart already knew. He just didn't want to accept it. How many men live like this, clinging to hope, justifying the unjustifiable, accepting crumbs for fear of being alone? But the greatest loneliness is being with someone who is not with you. Louise only wanted love, but he received interest disguised as affection. And when he needed her most, she was not there. Do you know why? Because she was never there. And are you giving everything and receiving silence in return? If these signs reminded you of someone, if you felt that tightness in your chest, it's time to have courage. Courage to say, I don't deserve crumbs. I deserve the truth. Don't be afraid of being alone. Worse is being with someone and still feeling invisible. If this warning spoke to you, comment below. Now I see. And share it with a friend who might be going through this. Sometimes a word is all someone needs to open their eyes, because their heart is tired of warning them.